We are one more week on and we're still doing fencing. We've got over 100 panels being delivered today. These panels are to rebuild a fence, which, like, the posts and the gravel boards are still there, but all the panels have rotted. So what we have to do is build them in situ. We can't drop them in from the top because there's a load of bushes that sit above. So I've done a couple previously when we first moved in, 2 panels that were heavily caked in ivy. So it's not too difficult a task. It's just a bit mind-numbing and time-consuming rather than just dropping the panels in. So let's see how we get on. I shouldn't need to cut too many of them. They're all coming cut to size, but you know, something will go wrong. It never goes right in this house. So I've just had all the wood delivered. It actually turned up on time. Actually only just made it back in time after walking Stanley. However, I've made a mistake. I've ordered 6 foot lengths instead of 5 foot. I'm going to have to cut over 100 panels down. Oh, that's going to be a task. So yeah, it's just my luck. I've ordered them 6 foot, not 5 foot. I'm gonna have to make some kind of jig and set them up and just keep feeding them through on the chop saw and see if we can take them down, but definitely a foot too high. I've just took one up and measured it.
So as we all know already, Adam's ordered the wrong size of panelling for the fence. So we're making a jig to hopefully make this cutting of how many? 100? More than?
100 boards.
A bit easier. I also might be trusted to use this, which is going to be hilarious. But I'm a big fan of a power tool, so we'll see how we get on. Anyone else got a light chasing dog as well? If you do, let me know how you've stopped them from doing it, because it's really quite annoying. What are you doing? There's nothing there. So it's this back part of the fence that we're going to tackle today. This is the one that got knocked down in the storm, but it was already ivy damage. So as you can see, these 2 we've already replaced. When we first moved in, we started just ripping the ivy off, not really knowing how badly the fence underneath was damaged. So they basically disintegrated when we pulled them off. And then that one's, it wasn't as bad as the others, but it's come down. And this one doesn't look great either, but we're just going to replace all of them so they all look pretty uniform, and then we'll go from there. But how are you going to make it so that there's a foot that's coming off that end?
I'm not. I'm going to make it so that it's 5 foot. If the boards are 5 foot, it's regardless what comes off the end. Because there's no guarantee that every board is perfectly 6 foot, and I want them all perfectly 5 foot. So if I measure 5 foot and make them this,
oh right, yeah, I get you.
Jig,
yeah.
You can just drop a couple in at a time and just chop through it.
So you're making this bit 5 foot, and then whatever's left at the end, you just cut that off. Right, yeah, I'm with you. Oh, you're clever, aren't you?
That's simple.
Just why you're in charge.
So let's make sure that this is on perfectly. Hang on. Literally what I've done is just set up and cobbled it together off a load of bits of scrap wood, but effectively just making a block so that I can just sit each one in and then just chop through them all. But just finalising, always measure twice and cut once. Right, so that's set there, that's nice and square. That across there, yep. Let's shore it all down. Right, nice and not going anywhere. Solid.
You're ready to cut?
We are ready to go.
Fab.
Get that absolutely perfect online. one down, 99 more to go. Done. That wasn't as painful as the first thought.
I find this quite satisfying. This, not so much.
So I'll try and do a little instruction of basically what I'm doing, but I've scribed 10 centimetre width onto the board, which gives me a little bit of an overlap to screw through the thick side into the thinner side, sort of lighten each board, etc. So first one's on, always go thick side to the left, line it up, over it such as that, 1, 2, 3. Already put my braces in, fastened it with the top rail on the other side just temporarily, and that way I'm saving myself having to fight with all the bushes above, lifting them in and out to drop them in. So pretty straightforward, it's just time consuming. And I also bought myself this little set, which you just put your screw into your thing and then pull your sleeve over it. Screw can't fall out, can't wobble sideways. Pretty useful. That's about halfway. Okay, so I've just started on this panel. As you can see, I've barely even touched it and it's fallen down. Took all the ivy off. Charlotte wants to somehow see if we can keep that, so I've like laid it down what bit that I can. I've had to cut some of it off because it went right up into the trees up there, but yeah, chopped it down. Hopefully we can get in and just pull this panel out in one and see what's behind it. Standing you guys down over here. Oh, that's maybe a twig that you can't get. Right, there's a bit of stuff behind there, isn't there? I think I'm going to have to cut some of that back. So I've just set up the first bit of this framing for the next one. As you can see, it's quite straightforward. I've just got like a main rail across the bottom. I fastened on the first panel, tacked it to the middle rail and the top one, just left them loose. I'm now going to use this, which is actually the top brace, but to brace them horizontally here. So I've forgotten my spirit level, so 2 seconds. Right, so this nicely up here. And that's perfectly level. And that's just going to hold that in there. Get the middle one in. Similar job. Yeah, good. Get the rest of the rails and away we go. there we are, that's half the fencing done, but look, the weather is just gorgeous. There's many things that I could be doing instead of DIY, so I'm off to play golf.
Last piece.
Done.
Does it? Well done.
Easy as that.
Looks good, to be fair.
It has successfully, it's what we do with this though now. Do we get rid or do we put it back up?
I think we probably get rid, to be fair. What do you think?
I think so. It's going to be a nightmare to try and get it back up in there.
Yeah. And I think then the water butt can go there, can't it, easily?
Yeah.
Yeah? Fab.
We've finished. It's all done.
A whole load of fencing in a weekend.
I'm quite pleased with that.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job.
It looks alright, doesn't it?
No disasters. It's probably the first video we haven't had a disaster.
Yeah. Well, we had a mini one given the length of the board's been a little bit long. But...
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. We've got a whole other side of fencing
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
that definitely ain't been done this year.
No. Do we show that on camera?
Nah. Look at our beautiful fence.
Yeah. So I definitely learned something. Certainly where the bushes are growing over the top of the posts and you can't get the panels in and out, it's a really good way of actually replacing the panels and really straightforward. So I'm very pleased.
Yeah, it's quick as well. Once you've got the buttons up and it's all level, it's just a case of drilling them all, screwing them all in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right, that's us for another week, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you Monday.
See you Monday.